Hey everyone, Robert here. Today I want to talk with you about something that might just change the way you look at getting older. If you've ever wondered whether you're simply accumulating years or actually aging in a strong, healthy, and surprisingly vibrant way, then stay tuned. Because I'm about to share 8 major signs that suggest you're not just aging, but thriving. And trust me, you won't want to miss sign number 8 because it's a real eye-opener that affects all the others. If you're between 65 and 80, or you have friends and family in that age range, these signs could be crucial for maintaining a lifestyle full of energy, independence, and even joy. Before we jump in, I need to be clear. I'm not a doctor or a medical specialist. The information here is based on expert research, general knowledge, and real-life experiences from people who are living these truths day in and day out. Always talk to a qualified healthcare provider about your unique circumstances, but what I'm going to share can serve as a guide, an inspiration, and maybe even a checklist that helps you recognize just how well you're doing, or where you might want to focus your efforts to improve. Now let me hook you in with this. Imagine you wake up every morning with enough energy to go about your day without feeling drained. You walk up and down stairs easily, you pick up a bag of groceries without straining, and you can recall recent events or names without that frustrating mental fog. Wouldn't that make life feel more fulfilling? Well, that's what many older adults experience when they match these 8 signs. And as we go through them, keep track of how many resonate with your daily life. Let's dive right in. Remember, make sure to stick around until the end, because it might not be the sign you think that stands out as the biggest game changer of them all. Sign number 1, you can rise from a seated position without pushing off with your hands. Let's start with something that seems simple, but actually reveals a whole lot about your body's overall condition. Can you stand up from a chair, couch, or bench using just the power of your legs and core? If so, you're in a strong position, pun intended. Many folks don't realize how integral leg strength is, not only for everyday tasks, but also for preserving independence. When you push yourself up with your arms, that's a natural instinct if your legs aren't providing enough stability or force. Maybe you lean forward and brace your hands on the seat or arms of the chair. It might feel normal, but it's also your body's way of compensating for declining lower body strength. If, on the other hand, you just engage your thighs and glutes to lift yourself in one smooth motion, that's an incredible sign that your muscles are still in good working order. Why does this matter so much? First, your leg muscles, especially the quadriceps and glutes, are some of the largest and most important in your body. They determine your balance, your capacity to climb stairs, and even the way your posture is supported when you walk. Studies have shown that preserving leg strength is crucial for preventing falls, which are unfortunately a major concern for older adults. You might be thinking, well, I can kind of do it, but sometimes I need a little help from my arms. Don't worry, you can work on this skill. One of the simplest exercises is the sit to stand. You literally practice standing up and sitting down repeatedly, ensuring you're doing most of the work with your legs. Over time, you build the necessary strength so you'll eventually be able to do it hands-free. That simple routine can drastically improve your mobility and confidence. So if you're not there yet, you can get there. Sign number 2, you can walk at a brisk pace without feeling exhausted. Picture this scenario. You're out for a morning stroll, the weather is nice, and your steps feel light and purposeful. You're walking quickly, maybe to catch up with a friend who's waiting for you, or just because you like that energized pace, and you don't feel the need to slow down after a minute or two. That's a great indicator that your cardiovascular system is in decent shape, your muscles are properly engaged, and your stamina is where it should be for someone who's aging well. Walking might sound like a trivial activity, something we do all the time, but a brisk walk is widely recognized as one of the best forms of low-impact exercise at any age, and it becomes even more valuable for older adults. Not only does it test your endurance, it also enhances circulation, helps regulate blood pressure, and can even lift your mood. When you can walk at a lively clip, that suggests you're retaining a good measure of fitness. Now, if you notice that you get winded early or you have to pause frequently, it could mean your heart and lungs aren't working together as efficiently as they used to, or that your leg muscles could use a boost. The good news is that improving your walking endurance is entirely doable. Start by adding an extra minute or two each day to your regular walk. If you typically circle the block once, circle it twice. Gradually pick up the pace. Over a period of weeks or months, you'll find you can sustain that brisk pace for longer stretches. Always keep an eye on your breathing. Use it as feedback to gauge how hard you're pushing yourself. But trust me, a stronger walk can be life-changing. What's more, your walking speed actually correlates with longevity in quite a few studies. Researchers often look at gait speed as a measure of overall health. So if you're a fast walker, you're not just getting places quicker, you may also be adding more active years to your life. Keep that in mind the next time you're zipping down the sidewalk. Sign number 3, you can balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds. Balance doesn't sound exciting until you realize just how critical it is for preventing falls and injuries. If you can stand on one foot without holding onto a wall, chair, or countertop for around 10 seconds or longer, you're demonstrating impressive coordination between your muscular system, nervous system, and sensory input. Think about the last time you tried to put on pants while standing, or slip on a shoe without sitting down. Did you wobble or need support? Those are everyday moments when balance really matters. Good balance is also tied to core strength, those deeper muscles around your abdomen and lower back that hold you steady. A strong core plus a decent sense of equilibrium often translates to fewer stumbles and more confidence in movement. Balance can be improved no matter your age. Simple exercises include standing on one foot for brief periods daily, doing heel-to-toe walks in a hallway, or exploring exercises from yoga and Tai Chi. If you're comfortable challenging yourself, you might even try balancing with your eyes closed for a short time. Just make sure there's something sturdy around you if you start to sway. Every little effort builds up the neural pathways that keep you upright and stable. And the payoff is huge. Fewer falls, more independence, and a solid foundation for any physical activity you enjoy, whether it's dancing, gardening, or playing with your grandchildren. Sign number 4, you can get down on the floor and back up without too much trouble. Being able to sit or kneel on the floor and then return to a standing position is more significant than many people realize. It's not just about your knees. This action calls upon flexibility in your hips, strength in your legs, and stability in your core and upper body. Think about scenarios where you might need this skill. Picking something up you dropped, getting down to do exercises or stretches, playing a board game with younger relatives, or even gardening at ground level. If you can do this with relative ease, you're retaining a wide range of motion and joint health, both of which become increasingly precious as we age. Many older individuals start avoiding the floor altogether because they fear they won't be able to get back up without a chair or helping hand. That avoidance can lead to even more stiffness and muscle atrophy over time. So, if you find the floor a friendly place, where you can get down and up without feeling like you're in the middle of a wrestling match with gravity, that's a big win. If you're not quite there yet, try practicing carefully. You can do partial kneeling exercises using a sofa or chair for support, gradually lowering yourself a bit more each time until you build the strength and confidence to go all the way. Remember, it's never too late to recapture the functionality that allows you to interact with your environment in a more flexible, dynamic way. Sign number 5, you can lift or carry groceries without straining. We've all been there. You come back from the store with a bag or two of groceries, maybe a carton of milk is in there, some canned goods, and suddenly it feels heavier than you expected. If you're able to pick up that bag, walk to your car or house, and set it down without feeling like your arms are about to give out, or your back might spasm, that suggests you have decent upper body and core strength. Why does this matter so much? Daily tasks like grocery shopping, carrying laundry, or lifting a small suitcase are essential parts of staying independent. The more you can do these things without assistance, the less you have to rely on others. That's a huge psychological boost, reinforcing the feeling that you're still self-reliant. It's also indicative of healthy muscle mass and bone density, factors that are directly linked to longevity and a lower risk of accidents. If you find yourself struggling more than you used to, don't lose heart. There are plenty of strength exercises suitable for older adults. Resistance bands, light dumbbells, and bodyweight movements, like wall push-ups, can all help build up your arms, shoulders, and back in a low-impact way. Even practicing grip strength by squeezing a soft stress ball can make a noticeable difference when it comes time to lift everyday objects. Over time, you'll notice you can carry more, for longer, and with less fatigue. and that's a clear sign you're regaining some youthful resilience. Sign number 6, you can take the stairs without feeling completely winded. Stairs can be both an enemy and a friend. If you avoid them like the plague because you get too winded or your knees protest too loudly, that might be a clue that your cardiovascular health and lower body strength need some attention. On the other hand, if you can climb a flight or two of stairs at a measured pace without stopping every few steps to catch your breath, you're showing that your heart, lungs, and leg muscles still have good capacity. Many healthcare professionals will ask older patients, how many flights of stairs can you climb comfortably? It's a quick real-world test of endurance. If you respond 1 or 2 with no problem, that often corresponds to better overall fitness. Of course, if you have near hip issues or any structural limitations, you'll want to be cautious. But for those who can handle it, stair climbing is a fantastic and free workout that challenges your cardiovascular system and strengthens your legs. One tip, if you're looking to improve, try tackling the stairs in small doses. Maybe you take 1 floor's worth of stairs today, then add another floor next week. Over time, your muscles adapt and your breathing becomes more efficient. Plus, you'll gain confidence in your abilities, which spills over into other activities. It feels great to know that you're not forced to rely on an elevator just to get around. Sign number 7. You keep your mind sharp, remembering details and staying engaged. Let's shift gears from physical benchmarks to something equally vital, your cognitive health. Do you find that you can recall what you had for dinner last night or remember conversations from last week without too much trouble? Can you learn new card games, follow a new recipe, or keep track of a complex story on TV without confusion? That's a telling sign that your brain is still firing on plenty of cylinders. Cognitive function often declines with age, but it's not a universal rule that you'll develop significant memory lapses or mental sluggishness. Many seniors stay mentally agile well into their 80s and beyond. The key is to keep that brain stimulated. Activities like reading, puzzles, learning a musical instrument, or even engaging in lively discussions with friends keep those neurons active. Social engagement is particularly powerful. Talking to people, hearing their viewpoints, and forming new connections mentally can do wonders for preventing or slowing cognitive decline. Some experts also suggest that a sharp memory is tied to good sleep, we'll get to that soon, balanced nutrition, and regular exercise, all of which boost circulation and deliver nutrients to the brain. If you're noticing more frequent lapses than you'd like, don't be embarrassed. It can be a sign to step up your mental exercise. Start with something enjoyable, like a word puzzle, or challenge yourself to learn a bit of a new language. The brain can adapt at any age, as long as you provide it with fresh input and a reason to form new pathways. Sign number 8, you wake up feeling rested and ready for the day. Finally, the sign I've been teasing since the beginning. Sleep quality. This might seem obvious, but it's truly the linchpin for everything else. If you're regularly waking up after a full night's sleep feeling refreshed, alert, and ready to engage with the day without relying too heavily on caffeine, then you're hitting a huge marker for healthy aging. Why is sleep so important? It's during those nighttime hours that your body repairs tissue, consolidates memories, regulates hormones, and performs countless other maintenance tasks. Poor sleep can lead to issues like weight gain, mood disorders, elevated blood pressure, and even a weakened immune system. Over the long term, these problems can make aging much more challenging than it needs to be. For many older adults, sleep quality starts to slip due to factors like insomnia, sleep apnea, or restless leg syndrome. But sometimes it's also about environment and habits. Having the TV on too late, drinking coffee in the evening, or not giving yourself a proper wind-down routine. If you can take steps to create a sleep-friendly environment, cool, dark, and quiet, with a consistent bedtime, you might find that you can restore deeper and more restful slumber. And let's not forget the synergy between sleep and physical and mental health. When you're active during the day, you sleep better at night. When you sleep better at night, you're sharper and more motivated to exercise or engage socially the next day. It forms a cycle that can push your overall well-being upward. Recap of the 8 signs. We've covered a lot of ground. Let's list them out again for clarity. 1. Rising from a chair without using your arms. 2. Maintaining a brisk walking pace without feeling exhausted. 3. Balancing on one foot for at least 10 seconds. 4. Getting down on the floor and back up without major difficulty. 5. Carrying everyday items like groceries without undue strain. 6. Climbing stairs without pausing or feeling overly winded. 7. Remembering recent events and staying mentally engaged. 8. Waking up feeling genuinely rested. The more of these you can check off, the more likely it is you're aging in a healthy way. If you're hitting all 8 with flying colors, that's phenomenal. Give yourself credit. If some of them are lacking, consider this your roadmap for improvement. With patience and consistent effort, many of these skills and capabilities can be regained or optimized. Why these signs matter for your longevity. You might be thinking, that all makes sense. But what's the big picture here? The big picture is that each of these signs reflects a critical aspect of holistic health. We're talking muscular strength, legs and arms, cardiovascular endurance, neuromuscular coordination, balance, getting on the floor, cognitive health, and restorative sleep. When any one of these starts to slide significantly, the others can follow suit. But the reverse is also true. If you start improving one area, you often create a ripple effect of positive change in the others. For instance, building up your walking speed can help your cardiovascular health, which can improve your sleep, which in turn can enhance your cognitive function. It's all interconnected. Realizing that you have the power to influence these factors, even later in life, can be incredibly motivating. A lot of seniors believe the myth that after 65, it's all downhill, or this is as good as it gets. That's simply not accurate for most people. Yes, aging brings some inevitable changes, but your daily habits, mindset, and willingness to adapt can vastly affect how well you navigate those changes. Practical tips for cultivating these signs. Let's talk about some actionable steps you can take to cultivate or maintain each of these 8 signs. 1. Standing from a chair. Practice chair squats. Sit at the edge of your chair with your feet shoulder width apart. Lean slightly forward and push through your heels to stand up. Lower yourself back down slowly. Do this 5 or 10 times a day to begin, and gradually increase as you get stronger. 2. Brisk walking. Start adding a few minutes of brisk walking to your daily routine. Use a stopwatch or timer on your phone and challenge yourself to walk at a faster pace for short intervals. Over time, lengthen those intervals until a brisk walk feels natural. 3. Balance. Each morning or evening, stand near a stable surface, like a kitchen counter, and lift one foot off the floor. Try to hold for 10-15 seconds, switch feet, increase the time slowly. Yoga and Tai Chi classes designed for seniors can be a fantastic way to enhance balance in a supportive environment. 4. Floor mobility. If getting on the floor is tough, use a sturdy chair or couch for partial support. Practice lowering yourself onto one knee, then both. Over time, aim to sit or kneel fully on the floor and use the chair or couch to assist you in getting back up. Shift 5. Carrying groceries. Work on your upper body strength with light dumbbells or resistance bands. A simple exercise. Hold weights at your sides, then lift them up to shoulder height, bicep curl or shoulder press. Focus on controlled movements rather than heavy weights. Gradually increase as you get stronger. 6. Stairs. If you have access to stairs at home or in your neighborhood, set a small goal. For example, climb 1 flight once a day, then move to 2 flights. Use the handrail for safety and take your time. If you need to rest, do so, but keep challenging yourself little by little. Antoine, memory and engagement. Try a new hobby that challenges you mentally, like learning simple phrases in another language, playing a new card game, or even doing crossword puzzles. Stay socially active by joining community groups or clubs. Conversation and social interaction are great mental stimulants. 8. Quality sleep. Establish a bedtime routine. Avoid bright screens or stressful news before bed. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Consider gentle stretches or breathing exercises to relax. If you suspect a medical issue like sleep apnea, consult a healthcare provider. Better sleep can transform everything else. Strategies for sustaining motivation. Let's be honest, change can feel daunting, especially if you're working against years of established habits. To keep motivation high, try the following strategies. 1. Set mini goals. Instead of telling yourself you'll go from 0 flights of stairs to 5 in one day, aim for 1 flight for the first week. Small wins build momentum. 2. Track your progress. Keep a simple journal or calendar. Write down how many times you did each activity or how long you lasted balancing on one foot. Seeing it in writing can be surprisingly motivating. 3. Celebrate successes. Give yourself a pat on the back or treat yourself, maybe a warm bath or a new book, when you hit a milestone. Positive reinforcement isn't just for kids, it works at any age. 4. Get a buddy. If you can, find a friend or group with similar goals. A walking partner or a strength training buddy can provide accountability and make the process more enjoyable. 5. Be flexible. Listen to your body. Some days are better than others, and that's okay. The goal is consistent, gradual improvement, not perfection. The mind-body-spirit connection. Another thing to keep in mind is that physical health, mental sharpness, and emotional well-being are deeply interconnected. If you're stressed or lonely, it might affect your sleep. Poor sleep can lead to lower energy for exercise, which can lead to reduced muscle strength, which then might make you feel less confident socially. On the flip side, a positive improvement in one area can cascade into other areas. That's why it's so important to recognize that these 8 signs aren't isolated checkboxes. They're reflections of a bigger holistic picture. Enjoying a sense of purpose, connecting with others, and having a meaningful daily routine can all enhance your motivation to stay strong and active. Whether it's volunteering, joining a club, or simply having regular phone calls with family members, meaningful social engagement can boost your mental health and indirectly help you tackle the physical aspects of well-being more effectively. Common obstacles and how to overcome them. Let's address a few common obstacles older adults face when trying to maintain or improve these 8 signs. 1. Joint pain. Many older individuals deal with osteoarthritis or other joint issues. In this case, look for low-impact exercises such as swimming or cycling. Gentle yoga and stretching can also help maintain range of motion without putting too much stress on sore joints. 2. Chronic conditions. If you have heart disease, diabetes, or other chronic ailments, it doesn't mean you can't improve. You just need to proceed with caution and likely consult a doctor. Tailor your activities to your condition. There's almost always a modified version that works. 3. Lack of support. Sometimes friends or family might not be as motivated, or you might live alone. In such cases, seek out local senior centers or online communities. You might be pleasantly surprised at how welcoming these groups can be. 4. Mental barriers. Feeling discouraged or believing it's too late can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Challenge those thoughts by setting small goals and noting each improvement. Surround yourself with positive examples. Stories of older adults who overcame similar barriers. 5. Inconsistency. Starting strong but then dropping off is common. Keep your goals realistic and manageable so you don't burn out. It's better to do a little every day than to do a lot once and then abandon it. Real stories for inspiration. Let me share a couple of brief anecdotes, names changed of course, to illustrate how these signs manifest in everyday life. Funny, Stan, 70. Stan realized he was using his hands to push off the couch every single time he got up. He started doing 10 chair squats every morning and every evening. Within a month, he found he could rise without using his arms. Encouraged, he also began taking the stairs more often. Now he says he feels 10 years younger because he's not constantly worrying about losing his balance. Marie, 74. Marie had always been a light sleeper, but it got worse with age. She felt groggy in the mornings and had trouble focusing. She rearranged her bedtime routine. No TV an hour before bed, calming music instead of late-night news, and a small notebook to jot down any worries so she wouldn't ruminate on them at night. After a few weeks, her sleep quality improved dramatically. She noticed more energy for a daily walk, which in turn helped her sleep even better. Now she's ticking off 4 of these 8 signs that she thought were lost causes. A final encouragement. By now you might have identified a couple of areas where you're excelling, and maybe a few where there's room for improvement. I want to stress one point above all. It's never too late to make progress. Our bodies are more adaptable than we often give them credit for, even into our 70s and 80s. Sure, we might need more time to recover from workouts or be more mindful of injuries, but the capacity for growth remains. If you're doing well on all 8 signs, fantastic. Keep up the habits that got you there, and consider exploring new challenges that broaden your horizons. If you're struggling in certain areas, pick one to focus on first. Maybe you decide, I'm going to conquer my reluctance to climb stairs. Work on that for a month, and when you see progress, move on to the next challenge. And remember, these signs aren't about vanity or competition. They're indicators of a fulfilling, independent life where you can savor your days instead of being held back by physical or mental limitations. That's something we all deserve, regardless of how many candles are on our birthday cake. Stay connected and keep learning. If you found value in this overview, consider it just the beginning of your journey to staying vibrant as you age. There's plenty of information out there, from specialized exercise routines to nutritional advice to brain training programs that can help you hone each of these 8 signs. Keep exploring, stay curious, and don't hesitate to ask questions of professionals who can guide you more personally. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts or stories in the comments. Have you noticed any improvements lately or any challenges that keep popping up? Sharing these experiences often sparks ideas for others who are going through similar situations. And hey, if there's one thing I've learned, it's that aging is a team sport. We all benefit from mutual support and encouragement. Thank you for watching, and remember the main takeaway. So, let's recap what we've learned. Those 8 signs: rising without using your hands, walking briskly, balancing on one foot, getting on and off the floor, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, keeping your mind sharp, and sleeping well, paint a vivid picture of robust aging. If you've watched this far, you're already taking a proactive step toward caring for your well-being. You're educating yourself and seeking actionable insights. That's huge. I want to thank you for spending your time here. If you've picked up even one tip or piece of motivation, my job is done. But I hope you'll go beyond motivation. I hope you'll put something into practice, however small, today or tomorrow. And if you're excited about more discussions on living a fuller, healthier life in your later years, be sure to check out other videos on my channel, hit the subscribe button, and click that notification bell so you won't miss any future content. Remember, life doesn't stop at 65 or 70. There's still so much to experience, learn, and enjoy. And these 8 signs are proof that you can keep doing just that, maintaining a quality of life that many people think is out of reach. It's not out of reach. You just have to reach for it. Take good care of yourself. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay curious, and never forget, aging is inevitable, but how you age is largely up to you. Additional thoughts for those who want even more depth. I know some of you like deeper dives, so here are a few more perspectives. Nutrition's role. A balanced diet rich in protein, healthy fats, and vitamins can fuel your muscles for those chair squats, strengthen your bones for stair climbing, and support cognitive function. Adequate hydration also helps with energy levels and digestion. Don't overlook the simple act of drinking enough water throughout the day. Immersion. Mindfulness and stress management. Stress doesn't just live in our heads. It can manifest as tense muscles, poor sleep, and a foggy mind. Whether it's through meditation, a relaxing hobby, or regular check-ins with close friends, finding ways to manage stress is just as vital as any physical exercise. Social bonds. Loneliness is linked to many adverse health outcomes in older adults. Staying connected, whether through family, friends, community centers, or clubs, gives you a sense of belonging. This emotional health can bolster your motivation to stay active and keep your brain engaged. Goal setting. If you really want to see progress, pick a specific milestone. Maybe you want to walk a certain distance in a set amount of time, or master a new puzzle game that challenges your mental agility. Having a target keeps you focused and adds an element of fun. Adaptation. If any sign seems beyond your immediate capability, adapt it. For instance, if regular stairs are too taxing, try smaller steps or partial flights. If balancing on one foot is too tough, hold on to a countertop lightly at first. Adaptation means you still move forward without risking injury. All of these elements tie back into the 8 signs we've discussed, reinforcing them and helping you get closer to that vision of aging with strength and grace. Your efforts really do add up, and every day is a new chance to improve, maintain, or rediscover some of the abilities you might have lost over time. Closing remarks. And that's it, folks. You've now got a comprehensive look at 8 major signs you're aging well, why they matter, and how to enhance each one. Take what resonates with you and run with it. There's no time like the present to commit to healthier habits, no matter what your age. After all, aging is not just about counting the years, it's about making the years count. I want to thank you again for joining me in this in-depth conversation. If something here sparked an idea, a question, or a desire to learn more, feel free to share in the comments. Let's keep this dialogue going. You never know how your insight or question might help someone else who's tuning in. Until next time, this is Robert, wishing you health, happiness, and the kind of vibrancy that makes every new day worth looking forward to. Keep taking those steps, both literally and metaphorically, and remember that the journey itself can be one of the greatest rewards. Stay well, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.